What's up, Traders Edge? It's Mark Sebastian, your only option. And today, investors are learning a lesson that farmers and commodity traders learned in the 1900s. And we're going to talk about that lesson today and what it means for the whole market, for the Dow, the S&P, the Qs, and of course, the VIX. So with that, let's dig in. All right, folks, so DeepSeek is out, and it is absolutely crushing AI stocks. NVDA is down 17%, and it could get worse from here. Other big losers, Taiwan Semiconductor is down 14%. Broadcom is down 18%. Now, remember, this was a $1 trillion stock before this move. Micron down 13%. Marvell down 18%. ARM Holdings down 11.5%. You also have some pain in Microsoft down 3%, and Google also down 3.5%. All this leads to the Qs down 3.3%. Would be worse if Apple, remember I told you Apple is the safe haven name. It's up 3.7%, up $8, back to being the most valuable company in the world. We're also seeing Meta get a little bit of a bid. Why? Well, less expensive AI is a big win for names like Meta and Reddit. Reddit down $3. I actually think this might be a win for them. So that's the big shift. But what I'm here to tell you is this is not a broad sell-off. This is a limited, narrow sell-off. Yes, NVIDIA's down. Broadcom, Microsoft, Google, Amazon, they're down. But take a look at the diamonds. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is up. And the S&P equal weight, which is the isn't cap weighted S&P. It still holds the 500 names, but they're equal weighted across. So it's a much more it's a better measure of kind of what the whole market looks like, and it's down less than 0.4%. So this isn't a crazy sell-off in the way that you might think. It's really narrow. Looking at the sectors, yeah, XLK, that's the tech sector, it's getting smoked. Utilities, remember, look at the energy demand that AI is going to need. All right, utilities are getting wrecked. Energy also getting beaten. All the areas that are AI or directly AI adjacent are getting pounded. All right, why? Well, there's an old saying in the commodity space. So I want you to pretend that instead of talking chips, we're talking about wheat or soy or corn. Well, when corn prices go up, what happens? Farmers plant more corn. Or people switch from corn oil to soybean oil or olive oil. Or if soy goes up, people switch out of soybean oil into corn oil, into olive oil, things like that. People find a way around. And what we're seeing in NVIDIA was going to happen two ways. Either AMD, Qualcomm, Google, Apple, Intel, they were eventually going to catch up to these guys. So much investment was being put into AI, or there was going to be a workaround found. And it sounds like we got that workaround. So is NVIDIA going to go to zero? No. But we have seen this story before. It's been in networking. Names like Cisco. Cisco having a nice year. It's at a 10-year high. But remember where this was in 1999. Very similar story. Turned out it wasn't nearly as necessary. Their stuff wasn't nearly as needed as people thought. And it was a kind of a boom and bust. And NVIDIA may be going through some of that. Now, do I think NVIDIA is going to zero? No. But do I think it should be a $3 trillion company? No. But here is the good news. And this is why this sell-off doesn't scare me and why I think the VIX is probably overbought. Money is not really leaving the market. Money is reallocating. So I'm going to pull up my, apologize for the black. I want you to look at this. There's more green than red on my screen. And we are seeing, like I said, Apple up big. China's looking good. Costco, look, CRM. The stuff that builds on top of AI, CrowdStrike, CRM, Apple, Palantir, Reddit, Meta, they're winners here. Money is buying Deere, Procter & Gamble, Costco, Walmart. Across the board, there's more advancers than decliners today. The Dow is up. The issue we have is that NVIDIA, largest company in the world, Broadcom, huge, Google, huge. And so when you have component weightings like this, where NVIDIA, Microsoft, Amazon, Google, Broadcom, and Tesla make up 30% of your index, you're going to get the S&P down 2%, even though most of the market is up. So what we're going to see today, and this is important, money's leaving a lot of this tech. Some of it is already re-entering the market through Apple or through other investment vehicles. Some of it's waiting on the sideline to jump back in. And some of it is going into bonds. TLT is up. IEF are up. So how this money that's leaving today allocates itself is important. Because I still think there's downside on NVIDIA and Broadcom, maybe not as much on Microsoft and Google, but the direct components, the utilities, energy, and the manufacturers, there might be some more downside here. But there's areas for that money to move into. And if it does do that, that would lead to a healthier market. I had commented that I like the fact that we hit 6,100 without a new all-time high in Apple and Google, or Apple and NVIDIA. And here we are today. And you're seeing more of that. Now, what does this mean for VIX? The VIX topped out at over 22. It's hanging around 18. I'm expecting it back in the 17s tomorrow, unless we get a major sell-off. I'm also expecting some shoppers to jump in the afternoon we might end up with the Dow up over 200 points by the time the day is done. But all told, this sell-off is narrow. And I think, yeah, NVIDIA has more downside. And so do names like, Vista Energy, a lot of the high flyers. But that is going to create some opportunity in some of the low PE names. And maybe in some of the, and you might look hard at some of these platform names that sit on top of AI as maybe the big winner here because those CapEx spends are going to be way lower. So that's where we are, and that's where we're heading to. Now, how can you take advantage of this? One way is to join Lee Shanahan on Wednesday for their small account challenge. That's going to be Wednesday at 7 p.m. You can join here. And if you're watching me on YouTube, please like, subscribe. If you got a question or comment, leave it in the comments below, and I'll make sure to answer it. All right, folks, I am Mark Sebastian. I am your only option. Have a great day.